everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So I have been spending a lot of time outside. I'm so grateful to live in such a beautiful place. I moved here from Baltimore City in Maryland, so being able to drive 10 minutes and be up a mountain is just such a blessing. And I have found great comfort and nourishment these days hiking through the woods and being with the trees. And the trees are really what inspired this offering that I have for you today. So I hope you like trees as much as I do. And when I was thinking about trees and yoga, obviously tree pose came to mind, and we'll get to that. But also what came to mind was a story of the goddess Parvati. And I love the myths of yoga. I barely know any of them. I feel like I know like an ounce of the mountains of the myths, but this story came to mind and I wanted to just share a brief version of it. And I'll probably get some of it wrong, so I encourage you always to, if you're drawn to these myth stories, to please do your own research, look them up, tell me when I get something wrong. A lot of the information I get is from this amazing book called Awakening Shakti by Sally Kempton. Such a wonderful book, such a wonderful resource. If you're able to get your hands on that book, I highly recommend it. So, once upon a time, there was a god named Shiva, and Shiva is known as the god of destruction. He is part of the three main gods: Brahma, the creator god; Vishnu, the sustainer; and Shiva, the destroyer. And we need all three. And these are just representations of what's within us and around us. So Shiva was once married to a goddess named Sati, and they loved each other dearly, but the problem was that Sati's father did not approve of Shiva and his wild ways. He was not approving of Shiva's living in the forests and being a wild yogi. And this upset Shiva and Sati very much, but they stayed together. They were together for many, many eons. God and goddess time is much longer, kind of like trees. Their timeline is much longer than human timelines. So Sati's father has a party and he invites all the gods and goddesses, but he does not invite Shiva. And this enrages Sati. She is so angry that she sits and creates her own yogic fire. And this fire burns her body and she dies. And Shiva is so distraught that he goes and he sits in meditation and is completely absorbed in samadhi, or enlightenment. And he sits there for eons and cosmic years, thousands of hundreds of thousands of years, for a very, very long time. And one day Brahma, the creator god, is looking around and he's like, whoa, Shiva is really not doing his job. He is not destroying things so that I can create things. We have a problem here. But he knows, the creator god knows, that what Shiva needs is desire. He needs to be re-engaged with this earthly plane. So he, Brahma, calls on the great goddess. And he goes and he, for 30,000 years, stands and makes offerings to the goddess, thanking her, giving her praise. And finally she shows up and she's in her dark form and she asks Brahma what he wants. And Brahma explains the problem with Shiva, that he's been sitting in meditation, he's not engaging, he's not doing his work. And the goddess says, okay, I will be born as a human woman to stoke the fires of desire in Shiva so that he will re-engage with the earthly plane. So the great goddess Maya, she is born into the body of Parvati, a beautiful young woman who is born with Shiva in her heart. And by the time she's a teenager, she's actually going to where Shiva is sitting and meditating, offering him flowers and just sitting with him, watching him meditate. And she just loves him so, so much. And as she gets older and becomes a woman, Brahma is watching, and Shiva is still not noticing, still sitting in meditation, completely absorbed, dissolved. And so Brahma decides to call on Kama, the god of desire. And he asks Kama to shoot Shiva in the heart with his arrows of desire. Kama doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to upset Shiva. Shiva is very powerful, but Brahma is his lord, so he says that he will. And Kama's wife comes into the field where Shiva is meditating, and she sets the scene, creating beautiful scents, and Parvati is with her. And Kama comes and he pulls back his arrow and lets it fly, and it strikes Shiva right in the heart. And he stirs, and he barely opens his eyes, and he smells the intoxicating perfume, and he sees Parvati, and he is struck with desire. And his response is to get angry. Who dare pull me out of meditation? Who dare put desire in my heart, in my body? And he immediately sees Kama, and through his third eye, he blazes Kama, and Kama is incinerated. And Kama's wife is distraught, and she's like, Shiva, we can't have a world without desire. And Shiva's like, okay. So he restores Kama, the god of desire, but without a body, and then immediately dissolves himself back into meditation. And Parvati, meanwhile, is like, what in the world do I need to do to wake this man up? And so she is just more determined and more in love than ever. And she decides that what she needs to do is commit to the practices of yoga. After all, Shiva is the god of the yogis. And so she tells her mother her plan, that she is going to go and she is going to meditate, and she is going to stand on one foot in a river and pray, meditate, practice her yoga until Shiva notices. And her mother says, oh, no, you're not. These austerities are for men only. But Parvati says, oh, no, ma. And sometimes she's called Uma. No, ma, I'm doing this. So she proceeds to go into a river where she stands on one leg in what I like to imagine is tree pose. And she proceeds to chant the name of Shiva. And she chants the name of Shiva for, again, eons, for a very, very long time. And her yogic fire starts to get so hot that it burns and the heat rises to the upper worlds. And Shiva, deep in meditation, notices and feels this heat and feels the devotion of this young woman. And so he is taken out of his meditation, but he's not quite sure, so he decides to play a little trick on Parvati. And he disguises himself as a boy. And he goes to Parvati and he says, oh, sister, woman, beautiful woman, the gods have noticed your tapas, your prayers, your dedication, your devotion, but, they're concerned. They think you're worshiping the wrong deity. Vishnu, now that's a god for you to love and to be in all devotion for. And Parvati will have none of this. She is angry and she says, please leave me, boy, leave me. Shiva is my lord. Shiva is the god that I love and adore. And if you have nothing to offer me, please go away. And then immediately the boy shows his true form of Shiva and takes Parvati as his wife. So that's the story in a nutshell. And I just love it because she stands in tree pose while she is chanting Shiva's name for a very, very long time. And we will be honoring tree today. So for today's practice, I have some props, and if you don't have the props, it's okay. You can work around them. I'll try to offer some modifications. So let me show you what I've got here. I still haven't figured out this angle thing with the camera, so I'm going to pick it up and move it. So maybe you can see here I have blankets and blocks and a bolster and a strap. So again, if you don't have those things, that's okay. We can work around them. And for this first part, I'm not going to be demonstrating. I'll just be guiding you verbally. So make yourself comfortable lying on your back. Take your time. Make sure that you maybe have something to put under the knees, like a pillow or a bolster. You can even put something under the head. And laying on your back, close your eyes. Draw your attention inward. And pause to thank yourself for your own inner devotion to your practice, to your well-being. You can rest here in Savasana with the legs down the mat, the feet separated, the arms down along the sides. Or you can bend the knees and let the arms rest maybe somewhere on the body. Just finding a position that's comfortable. We'll be resting here for a few moments. So there's nothing that you need to do at this very beginning of practice. Excuse me, just listening to the sounds that you hear in the room, feeling the body. And I have 2 readings for you today. This is a poem that is in progress that came through on a hike, and it's called Tree. Tree, giver, receiver of life, mystery, marvel, wonder of the earth. From the earth, of the earth, reminding us to root down, showing us how to rise up, teaching us to let go. Tree, collaborating with fungus, mycelium, communicating with your neighbors, healing them, reminding us to reach out, showing us how to have faith, teaching us how to slow down. Tree, lungs of the earth, breathing out so we can breathe in. Root systems interconnecting, patient and wise, balanced, protecting, guiding us back to the earth. Tree. And this next one is a quote from a beautiful novel called The Life of Pi by Jan Martel. But it was a tree, and a tree is a blessed good thing to behold. I sang that tree's glory, its solid, unhurried purity, its slow beauty. Oh, that I could be like it, rooted to the ground, but with my every hand raised up to God in praise. Be aware of your breathing. Know that we wouldn't have lungs if it wasn't for the trees. So just notice at the beginning, just notice how you're breathing, how the breath is coming and going. And then when you feel the impulse, you can begin to deepen your breath. deepening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. Let it be effortless, without any strain, without any struggle. And then very carefully you can place both hands on the belly, framing the navel. And start to breathe in a way that you can feel movement here in the lower abdomen. Again, without forcing, just breathing into the belly. Each inhale, the belly expands, and each exhale, the navel is drawn to the spine as you empty the lungs. Inhale, belly, lower back expands. And exhale, the navel and lower back are drawn together as you empty the lungs. So just take a few more breaths right here at the belly. Now when you're ready, start to move your hands up so that your fingers wrap around your ribs and your thumbs are around the back. And since you're lying on the ground, just let it be as comfortable as possible. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. You can move the head around a little bit. And then you're going to breathe in a way that you can feel this space between the hands expand and contract. So as we inhale, we'll expand through the ribs and middle back. And then exhale, let the rib cage draw together like an accordion. Everything coming back to the midline. Inhale, expanding into the ribs. And exhale, slowly releasing. The space between the ribs gets smaller. So now just take a few more breaths right here into the rib cage. And then finally, bringing the hands below the collarbone, letting them rest here on the upper chest. Be aware of the shoulder blades. And the belly will move, the ribs will move, but now we're going to focus on this upper chest. So as you breathe, really fill the lungs. Feel the heart and chest lift, the shoulder blades will widen. And then as we exhale, we empty the lungs, heart and chest and shoulder blades relax. Inhale, breathing into chest and shoulder blades. Exhale, empty the lungs as the heart and shoulder blades relax. So just take a few more breaths like that into the upper chest and shoulder blades. Really thinking of the 3 dimensions of the body, not just the front plane. Sense under the arms. And then releasing the hands back down along the sides. Of course, you can use the hands if you need to as we work with this breath, moving into Dirga breath, 3-part breath. Wherever you are, exhale completely, let it all go. And then inhale and feel the breath rising from belly and lower back, through ribs and middle back, up through the chest and shoulder blades. As you exhale, imagine the breath leaving chest and shoulder blades, ribs and middle back, belly and lower back, pausing when you're empty. Inhale, belly, lower back, ribs, middle back, chest and shoulder blades, pausing at the top, noticing fullness. And then exhale, chest and shoulder blades, ribs and middle back, belly and lower back, pausing at emptiness. So please take 3 more rounds. At the bottom of your next exhale, release any control of the breath. Just allowing the breath to breathe itself and noticing how you feel. And if the legs are straight, please bend the knees. And if the knees are bent, we're going to open the knees and bring the bottoms of the feet together. So you're in Supta Baddha Konasana. And this might be a good time to take those blocks and put them underneath the knees or the thighs. So just starting to open the hips in this passive way. Again, I'm not demonstrating this. So you're lying on your back, bottoms of the feet together, knees opening. And we're going to move into another breathing practice here with this new shape of the body. And this practice is called Viloma breath. It's very similar to 3-part breath, but we're going to add a little pause between each of the parts. And I'm going to count it for you. So it's going to sound something like this. We'll inhale into the belly, lower back for 1, 2, pause. Inhale, ribs, middle back, 1, 2, pause. Inhale, chest and shoulder blades, 1, 2, pause. And a long exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Join me when you're ready. Inhale, belly, lower back, 1, 2. Ribs and middle back, 1, 2. Chest and shoulder blades, 1, 2. And exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, belly, lower back, 1, 2. Ribs and middle back, 1, 2. Chest and shoulder blades, 1, 2. Exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale, belly, lower back, 1, 2. Ribs and middle back, 1, 2. Chest and shoulder blades, 1, 2. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing all control of the breath. And just allowing that breath to flow freely. Noticing how you feel. And then when you're ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers, roll your head from side to side. Slowly, slowly bring the knees together and hug the knees into the chest. So you're going to do this lying on your back, but I'm going to demonstrate a version of this sitting up. Like I said, I'm still figuring out all these angles, and it's tricky to know the best way to do this. So thank you for your patience. So you'll be lying on the back. Go ahead and straighten your legs, shake the legs out. Take an inhale and reach the arms up over the head. Give yourself a full body stretch, wiggling a little through the torso. And then hugging the knees to the chest and rocking a little bit from side to side. Again, you're still on your back. If you're looking at me, don't get too confused. I'm going to do this seated, just so you can see me. So now we're going to release the left leg straight down the mat and use your strap. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a tie or pretty much anything like a shirt, whatever works. And we're going to put this strap on the ball of the right foot and then send that right leg straight up to the ceiling. Holding on to the strap with just the right leg, the left hand can press down into the left thigh. Now kick actively through your left foot. Kick actively through both feet. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, take your right leg over to the right. Breathing here. Supta Pada Hastasana. Nice way of opening the hips and hamstrings. Be gentle here. Relax the shoulders. And then on your next inhale, bring that right leg back up through the sky. And switch hands. Bring the left hand onto the strap. The right hand will reach out to the right on the earth. You can even turn your head and look to the right. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, take this right leg across the body, stretching the outer part of the leg, the IT band. So here I'm going to give you an option to bend that straight left leg. So not the one that's across the body, but the one that's on the mat. Bend that leg and maybe reach your right hand down for that left foot to get a quad stretch here. Breath coming and going. Now, if your left leg is bent, you're going to keep it that way, and then inhale, bring your right leg back up to the sky. Take a deep breath here. Exhale completely. So up to you, you can stay with your head on the ground, or you can inhale and lift your head and shoulder blades for a little ab work. Just holding for a moment, and then exhale, replacing your head back down to the earth. So the left leg is still bent here. We're going to take the strap off of that right foot, keep the leg up in the air, take a deep breath, and then as you exhale, slowly reach this right leg down. So what happens is you're laying on your back, that right leg is straight down the mat, and the left foot is pressing into the inner right thigh. So you're in basically a tree pose on your back. So just notice how that feels. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, exhale, straighten your left leg, lying on the back in Savasana. And then inhale, hug both knees into the chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. And we'll just do the other side. So straighten your right leg down the mat, reach for your strap again. And if you don't have a strap or a tie or something to put on your foot, you can also just hold behind your thigh or on your calf. So if you have a strap, place it on the ball of the left foot. The right leg is reaching down the mat. It's active. All the toes pointing up to the ceiling. And then when you're ready, inhale, send your left leg up toward the sky. And at first, you might just let the shape of the posture do the work here. Feel the leg. Notice this side might be a little tighter than the other, or maybe the other side was tighter. Placing the strap in your left hand, take your right hand to press down into your right thigh as you kick through your right foot. Very active leg. Helps it to stay rooted and connected to the earth. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, bring your left leg over to the left. And so we're not trying to get this left leg to the ground. What's important is that your left knee and your left toes are pointing in the direction of your head and not up to the ceiling and not down to the earth. We want to keep the knee and toes in safe alignment. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring that left leg back up through to the sky. Let your right hand come to the strap. Left hand reaches out to the left on the ground in line with your shoulder. You can look to the left. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, bring this left leg across the body for a twist. And you can stay just like this, or add that quad stretch by bending your right knee and reaching your left hand down for your right ankle, foot, or pant. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Everything I say is a suggestion, a starting off point. Please listen to your body. Stop whenever you need to. Sip water. Modify. So that right leg is going to stay bent, and we're going to inhale, bring this left leg back up to the sky. Hold here for a moment, and then take the strap off, keeping the leg up in the air. Oh, I forgot, we can hold on to that leg again because we're going to exhale and lift the head and shoulders just for a little extra stretch, a little strengthening in the ab. Take a deep breath, and then exhale, slowly release that left leg all the way down to the mat. So you might have to adjust, pulling that right foot out and placing the right foot on the inner left thigh. So you're lying on your back in supine tree. Just noticing how that feels, how your hips feel. And then when you're ready, straightening your right leg and resting in Savasana. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. And then inhale, hug your knees to your chest. And you can either roll to one side in a fetal position to come up to seated, or you can start to rock and roll up and down the spine until you build up enough momentum to come to seated. And I'm going to back this camera up even more, see if this works. This will get better, I promise. So if you have socks on, this is probably a good time to take those socks off. And you might decide that you want to sit on a blanket or a bolster here for a little bit of upliftment. I've got my cheat sheet here. So go ahead and shake your legs out, just shake them out, and then find a comfortable cross-legged posture. Extending your arms down along your sides, fingertips reaching toward the earth. So this is a really simple breath practice of combining body movement and breath together. This is sometimes called grounding breath, uplifting breath, or earth sky breathing, which makes me think of trees connected to the earth and the sky. So as we inhale, we're going to take the arms out and up over the head, lifting the gaze up. And as we exhale, we'll take the arms out and down as we bring the chin to the chest, keeping the rest of the spine tall. Inhaling, arms come out and up as we lift the gaze, maybe a smile on the face. And exhale, take those arms out and down, bringing the chin down to the chest. Good. Take a few more at your own pace. The next time you exhale, your chin is down, your fingers are at the earth, stay there. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, bringing your hands to your thighs, lifting your chin until it's parallel to the earth. And then go ahead and take your legs out in front of you again. Shake them out, wake them up. So when I think of us humans as trees, I think about the roots of our body being our feet. So we're going to get into the feet a little bit here. We'll start by bending the right knee and crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. And I'm not sure if you can see this here, but you're going to take your left hand to the bottom of your right foot and interlace your fingers between your toes. I always have to use my other hand to help with that. So we're going to squeeze that foot and then look down at your foot and make sure that your big toe mound and your inner heel are in one line. So this is subtle, but what we don't want is for the toes to lift up while the heel stays down. This is called sickling the foot, and it's not so great for all the little bones and muscles in the foot. So as best you can, trying to keep safe alignment here, give a good squeeze to the ball of the foot, and just start to move the ball of the foot, just twisting it ever so slightly. Be very gentle. Your right hand can rest on your right thigh, or it can be like a kickstand at your side. And meanwhile, your left foot is active. You can even press through the ball of your left foot, spreading the toes out. And then we're going to make some mindful circles with this right ankle, guided by the left hand. Circles moving in one direction. Be mindful of the knee. Back off if you need to, and then switch directions, go the other way. Breath coming and going. Good. We're going to end with a flexed foot and then start to pump that ankle joint, pointing and flexing the foot. Meanwhile, the fingers stay between the toes. The toes are actually something that I watched physically change on my body as I practiced yoga. It's pretty amazing. So once again, we'll end this pumping action with a flexed foot. Spread the fingers out, take a deep inhale, give a little wiggle of the fingers. Try to keep your toes spread wide as you release your fingers and let your left index and thumb grab your little toe. Your right index and thumb grabs your big toe and you shake them out. Shake, shake, shake. Keep breathing. Let's move to the next two toes, shake those out. And then give that middle toe some love. Good, and then we're just gonna take the right hand to the ball of the right foot and flex that foot. Make a fist with your left hand and take the knuckles of this fist up and down the arch of the foot. Now, if you're like me and your feet get tight, this can be very tender, so be gentle. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure. You can even just skip this part. So just a few breaths of this. Massaging the fascia, the tissue that surrounds the muscles of the foot. And then go ahead and just massage your foot. The ball of the foot, the arch of the foot, the heel. And then we're going to clap. Beautiful. Clap onto your leg. And then use both hands to lift the right thigh and the right heel. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, lift that leg and just rock it from side to side. If your body's like, no thank you, then listen to your body. And then we'll inhale back to center without lifting these shoulders too much. As you exhale, hug this leg in a little bit more. Inhale once more. And then exhale, release that right leg down. Inhale, arms come out and up over the head. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. And then just surrender. Folding forward. Inhale, extend your arms forward first. Exhale. Inhale, hinge at the hips, reach the arms up. And exhale, take those arms out and down. And then we're going to bend the left knee, scooping up that knee. Taking that left ankle and bringing it over the right thigh. So just sitting up tall, letting the hip open up. And I don't think you can see my right foot, but it's very active. We're kicking through that right foot, spreading the toes out as though we have fingers between those toes. But we're going to take our right hand and put the right fingers between the left toes. Again, doing our best to keep this foot in alignment, giving the ball of the foot a little squeeze and just a gentle twisting action. Be very gentle, mindful if there's any pain in the knee, back off or skip this. Your left hand can rest on your thigh or be like a kickstand. And then being very gentle, we'll guide some circles into this left ankle joint. You might hear or feel some pops and cracks, and that is safe as long as it isn't painful. Switch directions, go the other way. Breath coming and going. Good. And then we'll start again to point and flex this foot, really pumping out that ankle joint as much as we can. Ending with a flexed foot. Spread the fingers out, take a deep inhale, give it a little wiggle. And exhale, keep the toes wide as you release that right hand. The right index and thumb are going to grab the little toe. The left index and thumb will grab the big toe and we'll shake it out. Shake those toes. Go to the next two toes, shake those out, keep breathing. And that middle toe, give that one some love. Good. And then your left hand will flex that left foot. We'll make a fist with the right hand and take the knuckles of your right hand up and down the arch of your foot. And just be in awe of what you discover here. This side might be tighter. It might not feel as tight. Just be present. Notice what you notice. And then we're going to turn that into a regular old massage of the ball of the foot, the arch, the heel. Breath coming the whole time. Good, and then when you're ready, clap. This is good for circulation. Continuing that clapping up the leg, and then using both hands to scoop up this left leg. Take an inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, hug this left leg into the chest. It doesn't have to go far. We'll just rock it a little from side to side. Meanwhile, we are not sickling this left foot. It's still in safe alignment. And then coming back to center, inhale, hug the leg in. And then exhale, carefully release. Inhale, the arms come out and up over the head. Lengthen through the torso, and then exhale, come forward. And then surrender for a seated forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms forward first. Exhale. Inhale, take the arms up over the head. And exhale, bring those arms out and down. Very nice. And here we'll go ahead and bend the knees and bring the bottoms of the feet together. So I recommend here that you hold on to your ankles rather than your feet. And we'll move into a cat-cow here. So as you inhale, begin to arch the spine, lifting your heart and chest. And then exhale, rounding the spine, carving out the front of the body. Bring your chin to the chest. Inhale, arching forward. And exhale, rounding back. Good. Take a few more at your own pace. Now the next time you come forward in your arching position, stay there. And then we're going to let the rib cage really guide this. So as we exhale, we'll move over to the right and round back, over to the left. Inhale, coming forward. So we're moving in a circular motion here. So go ahead at your own pace, inhaling as you come forward and exhaling as you round back. And at some point you'll feel that impulse to switch directions, so go ahead and do that. Still inhaling as you arch forward and exhaling as you round back. Breath guiding you. And then at some point we'll return to center and stillness. Take a deep inhale. Exhale completely. And then take your hands to the outsides of your knees and bring these knees together like you're closing a book. So I have a blanket in front of me. I'm going to move that. And you might, if you have them, you might use your blocks for this. If you don't have blocks, you'll figure it out. So we're going to bend the knees, keep them bent and hugged in toward each other. And you might bring these blocks rather close to the body. You can also use your fists or fingertips. We're going to press those blocks down. Take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, we'll press down to lift up. So try to lift your butt off the ground and then walk these blocks or your hands forward and roll your weight onto the balls of your feet. So you're lifted up in this yogi squat. Squeeze the thighs together. And you can either keep your hands on those blocks or the earth, or maybe practice lifting one hand in front of the heart, maybe the other. And this is a balancing posture, so you can gaze at a single unmoving point, a drishti, a focal point, maybe feeling some wobbling. And if you're feeling it, you can also come into an arm balance here called crow. It's optional, you don't have to do this, but if you'd like to, you bring your hands onto the earth, separate the knees, but keep the toes toward each other. Take a deep breath here. And as we exhale, we're hugging the arms in toward each other and bending the elbows. We're going to create a shelf on the back of the upper arms, on the triceps, for our legs. So take a deep breath. Exhale, lean forward, lift your bum up, and let the weight come forward. Maybe stay here with toes on the ground, or you can lift one set of toes, or maybe the second set of toes. Take a breath. And then exhale, return to your yogi squat. Fingertips on the earth or blocks, or palms together in front of the heart. Take a breath. Inhale, releasing your hands to the earth. And you're going to act as though you're going to put your knees on the ground, but instead you're going to straighten the legs and come into a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. So you just stay put. I'm going to stand so that you can hear me. So in Uttanasana, in standing forward fold, you want your feet about hips width distance apart, both sets of toes pointing forward. Your feet are parallel. Keep a little bend in the knees. You can shake your head yes and no. Open and close the mouth to stretch the jaw. Keep breathing. And then on your next inhale, slide your hands up the front of the shins. Come halfway up. The crown of the head reaches forward. The tailbone reaches back. On an exhale, bring your hands to your hips and draw your shoulder blades together. Elbows point up to the sky. A little bend in the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And then exhale the hands down. Inhale, take your arms out and up over your head. And exhale, bring the palms together in front of the heart. So I need to move the camera again, please. Thank you for your patience while I figure this out. And I'm hoping that you can still hear me. That's an issue. So we'll start here, sun salutation A with lunge. Inhale where you are. Exhale, take the hands down at the sides and roll the thumbs back. Inhale, the hands come out and up over the head. Exhale, reach up and over to the right, opening the side body. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. Inhale, back up through center, maybe a little back bend. And exhale, returning again to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on your shins, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, hands on the earth or on blocks as you step your left foot back. Back heel is lifted here. We're going to inhale and bring the arms up over the head. Exhale, bend deeply into that right knee. Keeping your right knee lined up with your right ankle, take a deep inhale. And then exhale, come back down. Inhale, step your right foot back into plank. And then exhale, you're going to lower yourself down. Lowering yourself down. And then inhale, rising up for Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale, tucking your toes, shifting your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Staying in your down dog for 3 breaths. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. On your next inhale, look forward and begin to walk or step your feet to your hands. Slide your hands up the front of the shins, come halfway up. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hinge the hips, reach the arms out and up over the head. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale. Exhale, the arms down, thumbs roll back. Inhale, take the hands out and up over the head. And exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. Inhale, hands come to the shins, come halfway up. And exhale, you're going to place your hands on the ground or on blocks to step that right foot back this time. That right heel is lifted, and we're going to inhale to rise up for a lunge. As you exhale, bend deeply into that left knee, but make sure your knee is stacked on top of your heel. Take a breath here. If balance is troubling, you can gaze at a single spot, or you can always put that back knee down on the ground. Big inhale here. And then exhale, bringing your hands down to the earth and stepping back to plank posture. Big breath. Exhale, bend those elbows lower down. Inhale for upward facing dog. And exhale for downward facing dog. Good. So you will hold that down dog for 3 breaths. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale fully. And exhale completely. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward. Begin to walk or step your feet to your hands. Come halfway up, hands on the shins. Exhale again, hands on the hips. Draw the shoulder blades together. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, hinge at the hips to rise. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, take the arms out and up over the head. And exhale, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Pause. Notice how you feel. And here, we're going to move through a few tree variations. So I still feel like you might not be able to see with this camera setup I have. Still learning. But let's see what happens here. Okay, so take a deep breath. And then exhale, shift your weight into your right foot and leg. Maybe the hands come to the hips here. And from our left hip, we're going to turn our left toes to the left. Inhale, lift your left heel and slide it over to your right leg. So this This might be your tree pose, and you can stay here. That's perfect. Or if you're feeling balanced, you can walk that left foot up to the right calf, or maybe even place it on the right thigh, anywhere but the knee. And wherever your foot is pressing into your leg is pressing into your foot. This is how you find stability in this posture. Gazing at a single unmoving spot on the earth or the horizon. Hands can stay on the hips, or you can bring the palms together in front of the heart. Maybe extending your branches up to the sky. Another option is taking your left hand down to your left leg and reaching your upper body over to the left. This might challenge your balance, which is good. If you fall out, that's great. Just fall, get back up, no big deal. Inhale, back up through center, both hands over the head. Exhale, palms come together in front of the heart. So I'm gonna give you another option here for tree. You can take your right hand to grab hold of this left foot and place your foot in a lotus position. Only if this is okay for your knee. Left hand comes to the heart. If you're still with me, now take your left hand to your left foot, right hand onto your right hip, and extend this left leg forward, inhale, and then exhale out to the left. Right hand can reach to the right, take a breath. And then as we exhale, we'll hug this left knee into the chest, give it a good squeeze. Inhale, exhale, release. Separate your feet a little wider than hips width and just sweep your body from side to side. Breath coming and going. Begin to slow your movement down, making your way back to center. Feet are inner hips width distance apart and parallel. So look down, make sure that's actually happening with your feet. And then again, bring your hands to your hips, gazing at a single unmoving spot. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, shift your weight into your left foot and leg. So you're leaning your weight rather than popping that hip out. And from your right hip, you're going to turn your right toes to the right. Inhale, lift your right heel and slide that heel over to your left leg. Now you're already in tree pose. You can stay here. This can be where you stop and breathe. Or if you're feeling stable and you'd like to go a little further, you can walk your right foot up to your left calf, or even place your right foot onto your left thigh. And remember, the stability of this posture happens because the leg is pressing into the foot as much as the foot is pressing into the leg. This is very active, not a passive posture. Hands can stay at the hips, or you can bring your palms together in front of the heart. Breath is coming and going. Maybe you lift your arms up to the sky like branches. And maybe you bring your right hand to your right leg and tilt the body ever so slightly to the right. Inhale back up, both hands over the head. And an option to take your left hand to your right foot and bring that right leg into lotus, only if that's good for your knee. Right hand can come in front of the heart, just breathe. If you're still with me, right hand comes to that right leg, left hand onto the hip. We extend the right leg forward, inhale. If you fall out, you just get back up, no big deal. Happens to all of us. This is how we learn and grow. On your next exhale, option to take your right leg out to the right, left hand out to the left, reach. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, hug your right knee into your chest. And then exhale, let it go. Shake those legs out. Very nice. So when you're ready, and sometimes after tree, after all that focus, it's good to walk up and down the length of your mat. Shake your body out. Shake, shake, shake. Very nice. And we're going to separate the feet a little wider than hips width. Add a deep bend to the knees, and we're going to come into what's called miracle bend. So as long as your knees are bent, your back will be safe here. Let your arms be heavy and relaxed, fingers relaxed. As we inhale, we'll sweep the arms forward and up. And as we exhale, the body will swing forward and the arms will swing back. Keep it up. Your inhale is through the nose. The exhale can be through the nose or the mouth. And on an exhale, you're going to end in a forward fold. So letting your body drape over your straightish legs. I'm going to bring you closer to me again. So just hanging out in Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And then bend your knees enough to get your hands on the ground and step back to one more downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. We'll inhale to tabletop, hands and knees position. And then exhale, sending your hips to your heels, forehead down for child's pose. Now just stay in your child's pose. Let it be the most relaxed child's pose you can imagine. Maybe your arms come down along your sides, or maybe they reach up over the head. You can separate your knees or bring them closer together. So whatever feels good for you, you decide. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And then placing your fingertips underneath of your shoulders and lifting your head so that your head is in line with your spine. It might look something like this, if you can see me. And then press into your fingertips and inhale, hinge at the hips so you're not rolling up your spine. And so you might sit with your hips on your heels, or you can sit cross-legged. This is a good time to grab props again so that you're sitting comfortably. Maybe a blanket between the hips and the heels to support this, or sitting on a block or a bolster. Just let your spine be tall, close the eyes and breathe. We're going to move into a little more pranayama, breath work here. So this practice is called Power Hara breathing. We're going to take our fingertips to our shoulders. This is a little bit complicated, so I'm going to explain it, I'm going to show it to you, and then we'll do it together. So this involves 2 inhales through the nose and 2 exhales through pursed lips. As we're inhaling, we're going to be twisting, and as we exhale, we're going to be twisting. When we exhale, we take an arm across the body. So let me show you what it looks like. Our fingertips will start on the shoulders. Elbows can be relaxed or pointing out, whichever feels better for you. And we're going to inhale, twist to the left. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, twist to the left. Bring your right hand across the body. Exhale, twist to the right. Bring your left hand across the body. So it looks like this. So let's try it together. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale, twist left. Inhale, twist right. Exhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right. Keep it up. Start to slow it down. Inhale. Hold the breath. Relax the hands. Keep holding the breath. And then exhale slowly and completely. Inhale fully. And exhale until you're empty. Just notice how you feel. Power Hara breathing, energizing, uplifting breath. So from here, if you're sitting on a prop, you can lean forward, take it out from underneath of you. Lean to your side, take your legs out in front of you and shake them out, wake them up. For me, this is where I grab my socks and put them on. And then when you're ready, you're gonna roll onto your back again. And again, I might not demonstrate this so much as talk you through it. So I'm gonna recommend that you either rest up against a wall with your legs up the wall, or you can take your bolster underneath of your hips and just bring your legs up in the air. So I'll try to demonstrate this. We'll see if you can see it. So you kind of sit on the bolster, lay back, and let your legs come up in the air. And again, the alternative is letting your legs come up a wall. So we're just going to rest here. So choose whichever one you'd like. Get comfortable. And proceed to take 5 deep, full breaths. And then when you're ready, you can start to bend the knees. Hug the knees to the chest. Again, rocking a little from side to side. And if you have that bolster underneath of you, you can roll off to the side, remove the bolster, and then roll onto your back again. Hug your knees to your chest. And then take a moment to do anything else that your body might be asking for before you settle into Savasana. Really take your time. Maybe you want to sip some water or do a posture like happy baby or something that we didn't get to today. Add an extra layer of clothing. And taking your time, when you're ready to rest, you'll lie on your back. You can use a bolster underneath the knees, maybe a pillow underneath the head or a blanket covering the body. Take your time. And then when you're ready, close your eyes. Nothing for you to do but rest, to allow the body to receive the benefits of this yoga practice. Feel the muscles of the face relax, shoulders and arms heavy, torso melting to the earth, hips and legs relaxed, feet release, whole body soft, receptive. Tree, giver, receiver of life, mystery, marvel, wonder of the earth, from the earth, of the earth, reminding us to root down, showing us how to rise up, teaching us to let go. Tree, collaborating with fungus, mycelium, communicating with your neighbors, healing them, reminding us to reach out, showing us how to have faith, teaching us how to slow down. Tree, lungs of the earth, breathing out so we can breathe in. Root systems interconnecting, patient and wise, balanced, protecting, guiding us back to the earth. Tree. Slowly become aware of your breathing. And without any effort, begin to deepen your inhalations and lengthen your exhalations. Feel how the breath influences the physical body as you deepen your inhales and lengthen your exhales. You can start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your head from side to side, move your shoulders, your hips, your knees. Reach the arms behind you, stretch the legs, full body stretch, big inhale. And then exhale, roll onto either side in a fetal position, just pausing for a moment here, a very important moment to thank yourself for coming to the yoga mat and making it to a practice today. As we all know, that is sometimes the hardest part. And then when you're ready, please join me in a tall seat, taking the time to sit on a blanket or bolster or pillow. Eyes can be closed here, the spine tall and lifted. Feeling your legs like your roots reaching to the earth for support and sustenance. The head reaching to the sky like the leaves of a tree, connected, receptive. And your torso tall, strong like the trunk of a tree, uplifted. When you're ready, bring the palms together in front of the heart center. And please join me in one booming Om. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale for Om. Lifting thumbs to the forehead for our thinking, thumbs to the lips for our words, thumbs to the heart for our intentions and actions. In deep gratitude to the trees, to all of my teachers in their many forms, to these traditions of yoga, meditation, pranayama, mantra. In deep gratitude to each of you. Thank you so much for practicing. Sat Nam. Namaste.